Children tend to follow in their parents' footsteps, and when running a family business, it's only customary for a child to take on an active role in running said business, because that's just kind of how it goes. So with that in mind, it shouldn't come as much of a surprise that drug cartels aren't that different either. Most major cartels are run by family members, related by blood, marriage, or adoption. One of such instances is the case of Jesus Alfredo Guzman Salazar, son of Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, notorious drug lord and kingpin and former leader of the Sinaloa cartel. From being kidnapped to having his name on wanted lists for drug-related crimes, you could say Alfredo is a real daddy's boy. Before we dive into the absolute roller coaster that is Alfredo Guzman's life, let's take a brief look into Guzman Sr. and the family business. Joaquin Arquivaldo Guzman Loera, aka El Chapo, a nickname which was given to him due to his 5'6" stature, was born in 1957 into a poor home in a small town in Badiraguato, Sinaloa, Mexico, to father Emilio Guzman Bustillos, who was allegedly an opium poppy farmer, and mother Maria Consuelo Loera Perez. His father was a drunk and a womanizer who mismanaged family funds. So due to Emilio's habits and his family's dire need of cash, Chapo was driven to grow his own marijuana farm at the young age of 15. In his early 20s, he transported drugs for low-level drug syndicates in Mexico, and soon developed a reputation for being ruthless and effective in his dealings, cutting off hands and shooting people in the face along the way. In no time, he moved up the drug smuggling ladder and was introduced to Miguel Angel Felix Gallardo, whose alias was El Padrino, or the Godfather, the head of the Guadalajara cartel, which was the leading drug and crime syndicate at the time. After the introduction, he joined the Guadalajara cartel and soon became one of Gallardo's right-hand lieutenants. Chapo was entrusted with the vast majority of smuggling routes of the Mexican cartel due to his charisma and quick thinking. After Gallardo's arrest in 1989, El Chapo and some other top-ranking lieutenants agreed to split the Guadalajara cartel. Himself, Palma, and Ismael El Mayo Zambada got the Sinaloa region, and hence formed the Sinaloa cartel. El Chapo was in charge of the drug corridors and routes which controlled the passage and transportation of drugs from Mexico into the US, making him instrumental to the leadership of the cartel. So now that we've given you a crash course on Alfredo's father and family business, let's really get into it. Jesus Alfredo Guzman Salazar, born on the 3rd of February 1983 in Zapopan, Mexico, is one of El Chapo's 6 sons, all from different marriages. He is the son of El Chapo's first wife, Alejandrina Maria Salazar Hernandez, and has 11 other siblings from all different mothers. After his father's indictment and subsequent arrest and incarceration, Alfredo, alongside his brother Ivan Arquivaldo Guzman Salazar, took the reins and began running the day-to-day operations of the Sinaloa drug cartel. Although he isn't the drug kingpin his father was, Alfredito, as he is popularly called, created his own identity and is well known for being a playboy thanks to his lavish spending on extravagant parties, guns, booze, and women. With the Sinaloa cartel being one of the major drug syndicates operating in both North and South America, with worldwide distribution networks in every major city globally, it's safe to say that Alfredo is easily one of the richest drug heirs on the planet. In 2015, Alfredo, alongside his father and other key members of the Sinaloa cartel, were indicted in the state of Chicago. Unsealed on the 16th of January, the 14 indictments included over 60 members and associates of the cartel, and certain high-ranking lieutenants including Alfredo's brother Ivan, known as Chapito, on various counts of cocaine, heroin, meth, and marijuana trafficking from their base in Mexico into the US. The charges brought by the United States Department of Treasury also alleges the sons' involvement in their father's famous tunnel escape from his cell in a Mexican prison on July 11, 2015. The escape was believed to have been orchestrated by his sons. It is alleged that they dug a tunnel leading from the shower area of his cell to a house construction site 1.5 kilometers away. The tunnel was 10 meters deep underground, equipped with a ladder with which El Chapo climbed to the bottom, air ducts, artificial lights, high-quality construction materials, and a motorcycle, which was believed to have been used to transport materials in and out of the tunnel, and also transport El Chapo himself to freedom. This was Chapo's second escape from a maximum security prison, his first being in January of 2001. After 8 years behind bars, he decided he had served enough time and wanted out. Roberto Saviano, author of the book 000, gives a detailed account of the escape. He writes, "One of the guards, Francisco Camberos Rivera, known as El Chito, or the Silent One, opened the door to El Chapo's cell and helped him climb into a cart of dirty laundry. They headed down unguarded hallways and through wide-open electric doors to the inner parking lot, where only one guard was on duty. El Chapo jumped out of the cart and leaped into the truck of a Chevrolet Monte Carlo. El Chito started it up and drove him to freedom." Anyways, back to Alfredo. You should know that Alfredo is also wanted in the state of Chicago on federal drug conspiracy distribution charges by the Drug Enforcement Agency. In 2016, barely 7 months after his escape, El Chapo was recaptured after a shootout with Mexican Marines that left 6 dead and many wounded, and was thrown back into a maximum security prison. Mexican authorities, being aware of El Chapo's deep pockets and resources, realized it was only a matter of time before he bought his way to freedom again, so they agreed to extradite him to the US, where his reach and influence were greatly diminished. While awaiting US extradition in prison, rival cartels were already setting their eyes on his drug empire and making moves on his territory. In August of the same year, a troop of unidentified armed gunmen stormed the La Leche restaurant in the coastal resort city of Puerto Vallarta and kidnapped 7 members of the Sinaloa cartel in Jalisco, Mexico. It was later discovered that a son of El Chapo was among those kidnapped, but it was unclear which of his sons. At first, authorities believed it was Ivan Arquivaldo Guzman Salazar because he was also at the cafe and is presumed to be a more valuable asset to the cartel than his brother Alfredo. It was also assumed that his capture would deal a heavy blow to the daily operations of the cartel. However, it was later disclosed to the public by the Attorney General in the state of Jalisco, where the cafe was located, that investigations have revealed based on security footage at the cafe on the night of the kidnapping that it was not Ivan, but instead Jesus Alfredo Guzman Salazar, who was taken from the cafe that night. At the time of the announcement, it was unclear if he was still in the hands of his kidnappers or if he had even been released. His brother Ivan, who is also speculated to have been present, had somehow escaped before the kidnappers arrived. Authorities in Jalisco revealed that no shots were fired in the cafe that night, and that all female companions of those kidnapped were not abducted as well. This announcement left us wondering how high-level members of the Sinaloa cartel who regularly travel with troops of heavily armed bodyguards get abducted without a single shot fired. Why did Ivan leave without informing his brother and fellow cartel members? And was he aware of the impending kidnap? But on second thought, with a long history of violence and bloodshed, the Guzmans have an endless list of enemies and rivals who could have easily orchestrated the kidnapping. The mystery was finally solved when the authorities revealed it was the Jalisco-based New Generation cartel, who at the time were challenging the Sinaloa cartel for the sole control of the Mexican Pacific smuggling routes, who were behind the kidnapping. A week after the kidnapping, an anonymous Mexican government official confirmed news of their release, stating that they were negotiating all this time, but now are free and well, adding that Alfredo and the rest of the kidnapped men had already returned home to Sinaloa. With fears of a brewing war between the Sinaloa cartel and other rival cartels, Alfredo was a target that enemies wanted as a bargaining chip. Being one of the top 10 most wanted fugitives in the US DEA's list doesn't seem to faze this cartel prince, as he is frequently seen on Instagram flaunting his wealth and luxurious lifestyle, showcasing wads of cash, private jets, Gucci and Louis Vuitton designer outfits with the caption "Sugar Daddy" underneath, and let's not forget his array of automatic military-grade guns and ammunition, all while his father is locked away in a New York State prison. Paying tribute to his father on Father's Day, Alfredo made a post on Instagram originally in Spanish with a translated version that reads, "Today, Father's Day is for me very painful not being able to be next to that great human being called Joaquin Guzman Loera. You know, Father, that what you formed we will continue taking care of, and it will continue being yours. You are my father and the best of my friends. A lot of people admire you. Many will say that you are a bad person, but very few know what you really do to help poor people. I never forget those tips, those hugs, those cheers that you gave me when you were here. If you knew the desire, I have to go out to ride together like we did when I was 8 years old. You're a great person, Daddy. I love you." Unlike most fugitives who keep their location secret, Alfredo frequently tags his location on Instagram from different points on the globe, from Italy to Paris to his home city of Zapopan, Mexico, with captions like, "While they are looking for me as dogs in Mexico, one has fun," taunting authorities and rivals looking to capture him, or worse. With the reward for his capture at $5 million, you'd think he'd be at least a little worried, but the 32-year-old seems to be having the time of his life. Another family member that seems unfazed by her husband's current incarceration is El Chapo's wife, former Mexican beauty queen Emma Coronel, whom he married when she was just 19 years old. The former beauty queen has been loud about her luxurious lifestyle with regular posts on social media, showing off her designer Prada purses and beachside houses. The mother of twins doesn't seem to be worried about the cartel's finances, as she threw an extravagant Barbie-themed birthday party for her twin daughters, Maria and Emily. The party, which made headlines, featured a large ballroom designed as a Barbie dream house, with a giant pink chandelier in the middle, complete with a huge pink cake. Although there's no doubt the twins enjoyed their party, most Mexicans didn't share their joy as they accused the former beauty queen of spending her husband's blood money, with angry comments on her social media pages. Despite warrants for his arrest, Jesus Alfredo Guzman's current location is rumored to be Sinaloa, the cartel's seat of power. In 2020, during the peak of the coronavirus pandemic, the Guzman brothers, known as Los Chapitos or Little Chapos, allegedly threatened curfew violators in Culiacan, a city in Sinaloa, with arrests and fines if they were caught outside after 10 p.m. A member of the Sinaloa cartel was heard saying in a video, "This is no game, we are not playing." Who knew drug lords made arrests, but apparently the Guzman boys ran a tight ship down there in the south. And with that, we've reached the end of the video. Don't forget to share and leave your comments down below, and we will see you in the next one.